Hey everybody, welcome back. So we're getting closer and closer to completing this interior area. Just this last piece here is the last thing to do. And once that's ready, then basically we are ready to finish the interior, and then we could move on and spread around. So it is now officially spring, and so moving the goalposts. I'm trying to get the car done by summertime. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, so this side should not be that bad in theory, but it looks like it's going to be a problem. So what's going on here? Well, the rocker is actually not that bad. Remember, the other side was horrible. So this is actually pretty good. Even this A pillar, that's all good. Rocker is good. B pillar is not. So when I first saw this, it looked a little rough, but this top part here looked a little bumpy. It didn't look like metal. It looked like something was wrong. So I started to grind this down, and then I found all the Bondo. So what this guy did was he saw that this was rusted, and he just covered with Bondo. He just put Bondo everywhere, and then sanded and painted it. So obviously that's not going to hold, right? Don't put Bondo over rust. Okay, I know we're not doing a world-class restoration here, but you can't put Bondo over rust. Don't do that. It won't stay. Don't do that. So anyway, so I had to rip it off, and this is what's left. So the other side was fine. So I don't know why this side got destroyed, in particular here. Right? I mean, it's bad. This is bad. So I'm going to put some metal here, and there's holes here. So let's take a closer look. We'll zoom in. All right, so this is the area I'm talking about here. So we have an inner frame, right? So there is an inner frame. This is like the main structural frame for this to mix up this B pillar, and you have this, this door area skin on top of here, and then you have this quarter skin here, right? So there's multiple layers, but basically it's this inner structure, right? And even this, even this is rusted. So what's the difficulty? Well, so I could put like just a piece on top of this, because it seems that the door seals around this edge. And this edge is actually okay, right? Maybe that weather stripping protected this side, right? So just after this side, we're starting to see rust. So I could just do lap welds here, but then the problem with that, it's a couple problems. Number one, I wouldn't be able to weld it to any structure under here, and number two, that would be extremely ugly. And also, there's a piece here which is supposed to seal. Right? So I don't think that's a good idea, right? So I think here we have to do a good job, right? So there's a couple of holes. This is generally okay. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just put a piece that goes across, here and up. And so what's the issue? Well, so you got so many compound curves, right? So you got a curve here, right? This whole thing is curved, and then it curves up, and this whole thing is curved to here, right? And then it has to see, look how nicely it has to seat here, come over here, and it even curves in here. And then see this lip here, right? So I think the best thing to do would be to do a good cut and butt weld, right? And also it needs to be spot welded to this. So I have to drill some holes and spot weld to the frame. Hopefully I can do something to this. I can't do anything to this actually. But if I weld it to here, then the whole structure hopefully will hold. I don't know what's going on behind there, but anyways, so basically I'm thinking to cut this off, grind it nicely, and do a really nice job here. right? And there's also another patch. So this is another patch job here, but this is the difficult one because of the curves, right? And then down here, it will be the same as before. Basically, cut a piece at the bottom, right? So essentially, we're going to focus on this B pillar, and then the floor pan should be straightforward. The wheel well should be straightforward. So let's focus on this. So it looks like there's some sort of an upper and a lower structure, right? So this B pillar comes up here, and then it stops, and then there's another piece. It's possible that this piece is common for many car models, and this one is specific to the Monaco, right? Like it's crazy how they put these things together from the factory. It's crazy. I have no idea how they do that. But this here, I don't know what happened here, but it looks like somehow this all got rusted. And I don't know where the other piece of this is, but it's not part of this anymore. And I have a feeling it never was. I don't think this was ever connected to anything. I think it just welds. I think they weld it, and then once you weld it, that's the structure. I don't think this did anything. Because I don't see any remnants up here. This is just hanging here. So what I can do is I'll probably just kind of tap this down and maybe tack it to this. Right, so that this is nice and stable, and then we'll do a spot weld. So there's a couple spot welds. There's a spot weld here, and here, here, and here, here, and here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a few down here. So I think, because it's difficult to cut this, I think what I'll do is, I'll do a lap weld over here. I just weld that in, and then basically weld it against here. I'll lap weld it here, and then the spot welds I'll drill out, maybe 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to basically lap weld this one up here, and then lap weld all so it's another lap weld, but I'll try and make it as neat as I can, right? See how that goes. Not too bad. I gotta clean up a little bit, but well, it's better than Bondo. All right, let's see. Now, I don't know if it's me, but it looks like that striker kind of got bent a little bit. I don't know. All right, let's see if the door closes. Okay, probably just me. All right. All right, so that's done. So next, I think, is this patch. I probably just do something from here, and then all this. I think here it's bad, or here. And I saw a hole somewhere. That's probably, I don't know, probably do the whole thing. But yeah, I think I'll just do one here and then one big one there. So grinded all this rust off, and interesting, this is a previous repair. See, I thought that this looked weird. Right? This is not OEM. Right? So this is an old repair job. Not bad, actually. But, you know, why did he weld it here, but put Bondo here, right? And then pop rivets here. I don't know, maybe he had a buddy who could weld. And this was just one case worth of welding. I don't know. Let me think about it. I mean, I could patch on top of this, but all right, let me think about it. All right, so I welded up all the pinholes. It looks like I might need to go over them, sand and re-weld them a few times. But anyway, that's it. I'm not gonna improve that anymore. So we'll leave that to the end. Right now, we're just gonna focus in on this rear part here. So it doesn't look that bad. So I think this is just gonna be one little patch piece. Here, a lot of cleanup. So similar as the other side, but I don't think as bad on this side. All right, I think I'm gonna try and make one big piece here, right? Try to cover as much of this. There's so many holes here. So let's see if I can come up here. This is not very strong, but maybe up here, and then down here, and then this is rusted up to here. This is okay up to here. This is probably bad up to here. The spot welds on the frame are here. This is generally good. So let's go above the spot welds as high as we can. Okay, how about to here? And then we'll cut down here. And then here, not much we can do about that. And then we gotta come up as possible. Alright, we're going to use this cabinet, but this door isn't wide enough. So we'll have to do two pieces. This one. And then a piece for here. Okay, let's cut this.
Okay, wire brush this whole rocker panel, and looks like I've uncovered some spots, so I got to put a patch piece there and a couple holes here. These I can fill up, but another place I need metal. It's interesting though to see how the rust forms in little pools, right? It kind of collects like a little, once it starts etching away at the metal, it creates a little bathtub, right? And just wears away in pockets. It's very interesting.
So I got this paint on Amazon, and in the pictures it was like a perfect match. But once you compare it to the original, then obviously this is not even close. This is a champagne color. So anyway, that was a waste of money. This is called light champagne metallic duplicolor. So this was on a Chrysler product, but it's not close. Anyways, I'm gonna shoot this on the rear pan. See what this looks like. this looks terrific. I even preserved my patina look. That is not bad. Obviously, not perfect, but we're not going for perfect. Hell, we're not even going for compliments. So this champagne is like almost like a silver. It's not even close. It does look nice though. And hopefully the door still closes. Nice.